Well, hello there. My name is Abdullah Marcin, and welcome to my TED Talk, where I'll be speaking about the global decline in air pollution due to COVID 19. Let me take this mask off and be comfortable. Much better. So, as we know, everything has its good and its bad. And we know a lot of people have lost their loved ones due to COVID. And for some, it has also affected them mentally as well, not just physically. So today we're going to talk about all the effects which COVID have brought to the air pollution specifically. And because of the COVID-19 spread, okay, there are unprecedented reduction in economic activity, as we know, because of the lockdowns and so on. And they've reduced the population-weighted concentration of nitrogen dioxide and particulate matters by about 60% and some 31% in 34 countries. These are very big numbers. And this is due to a reduction in transportation sector, okay, which is very largely responsible for the nitrogen dioxide anomalies. And as we know, with development, we get economic growth, and this has caused air pollution emissions to increase as well. And long-term exposures of, I'll put these into numbers, okay? If we look at numbers, we can see that long-term exposure to air pollution, okay, due to fine particulate matter, okay, and ozone alone, okay, is estimated to cause 8.8 million, more than 8.8 million deaths in a year. Those are extraordinary numbers. And not only that, nitrogen dioxide alone per year causes 4 million new asthma cases per year. That's just extraordinary, to be honest. And as we know, because of COVID spread, as I mentioned earlier, most countries have implemented lockdown measures, and these include like international borders being closed, schools being closed, and non-essential businesses which are not very important and which require mobility and transportation. They've been closed, and this has caused a reduction in air pollution. So since I'm in Malaysia currently, I thought it would be a great idea to speak about the effects of COVID-19 on air pollution. As we know, the government in Malaysia implemented the Movement Control Order to reduce, also known as the MCO, to reduce the amount of transmission of the pandemic of COVID-19. And this started in, if I'm not mistaken, in between mid-March and it had, of 2020, that is, and it had phases 1, 2, and 3. So the main aim of this was to reduce the number of COVID-19 transmission, and this was implemented by reducing the number of transportation and mobility sectors. Okay, so the government prohibited any government and private operations except for the urgent ones, like the essentials. Okay, and educational activities like the universities and schools had to be closed, except for most it was done online until now for some. And some malls were also closed except for the essential shops, and also mass gatherings were also closed as well and prohibited. So as I mentioned, the main aim of this MCO was to reduce the transmission of COVID-19, but what it did is that it reduced the air pollution. How did it do this? Let's look at numbers. According to research, the particulate matters of less than 10 micron and 2.5 micron, okay, had similar trends, and but then there is no clear decrease in concentration of those matter, okay, due to MCO, okay. But then we can see that the nitrogen dioxide concentration reduced a lot, okay, during the MCO. And as I mentioned, this is largely due to the transportation and mobility of non-essentials being reduced. So since this is a small TED Talk, I would like to conclude by saying that even though countries aim to reduce the pandemic effects of COVID-19, but essentially what it did is that it also reduced the air pollution effects. And for Malaysian government, okay, the initiatives that they took to reduce the spread of the pandemic, it had a huge impact on the air pollution concentrations, as I mentioned earlier about the numbers. And it can also be said that the human outdoor activities and the vehicle emissions and all of that, it plays a very big significant role in the spread of air pollution. And so as a foreigner, I thought it would be good for me to give some recommendation. I hope it can be taken into effect, and maybe Malaysia would consider this. It is a big dream, yes, I do know that, but it is still possible. Maybe trying to implement new technology of transportation where less fumes and less air pollution can be done, because we did see that the reduction in transportation has during COVID, since because of the lockdowns, it reduced the air pollution, as I mentioned earlier. And this technology might cause a reduction in air pollution, we hope so. But not only that, the government should have local authorities where implementation should be done in small scale, and hope eventually it would be done in a much larger scale, and we would see the effect. And that's all from me. I hope you enjoyed this talk. Thank you.